Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Productions. Today I'm back home from being joined once again by Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
As he goes over a new take on a Bulma deck. Actually I'm not sure how new take it is, but he's brought back Bulma and he's super excited for it and wanted to share it to the class. That be you all. So keep in mind there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. Jimmy, Bulma.
Yes. So after Gen Con, we did a lot of preparation for Gen Con, playing a lot of meta decks. I basically just played nothing but Meki for like 2 months. So I wanted to play something a little bit more fun, something that I remember having a lot of fun with, and Bulma was the first thing that came to mind. So if you don't know what Bulma does, she gives all red, yellow, Saiyan, and Earthlings blocker, activate main, draw 1, and then awaken at 4 life and untap 2. Bandai Sexus, so she's a 5k, 10k leader. On the backside, same permanent, but the activate main is draw 2, which is fantastic. So basically the play of the deck is just draw your entire deck. And one of the cards to help that, we run Ultimate Shinron. So he is a draw 1, bottom deck 1, and then you play a 2 or I think it is just straight 2. Yeah. So you have to play a 2-drop Earthling, can't play anything less.
Does it specify Earthling only?
Earthling only card.
Yeah.
And then the -3, we do run a target for this, but it's kind of irrelevant because we're not worrying about that at all. He also cannot attack, but he's a 20k, so pretty much once he's on board, he's staying on board. Not a lot of decks have the ability to handle him without expending a lot of resources. But our targets, Yamcha the Lawless, at the end of the turn, draw 1 card, and then you can activate main or activate battle, tap 2 energy, and give him 15k and double strike, making him a 30k double striker. Which your opponent has to be wary of this card. If this card comes down and they don't have an answer to it, 30k double strike is nothing to sneeze at. You know, coming off of the Dark Broly meta, where 30ks were everywhere, you might not think 30ks are all that scary, but once you're in a red deck where they're already advantaging and they already have like 70 cards in hand, you know, shit, a 30k double strike might as well be an infinite double strike. The other target we run is Everybody's Pal Yamcha. It's just a Goten, but with an extra 5k. Search top 3, add a Earthling to your hand, which majority of your deck is Earthlings, so you're going to hit something every single time. But fantastic to play for free. I know that when this card came out, a lot of people were really on it, but just 2 energy and no way to cheat it out like with Swap. It didn't see a lot of play, but now that you can just play it off of your Unison, it's fantastic. And also these both double as blockers if you want to leave them in active mode, which, to get the most value off of them, you usually want to swing with them. That's our target. I only run it just to have another target, and there's some instances like opponent plays Violent Ray or something that stops battle card attacking. You can just drop this guy and then swing for game with him. But it's only come up once. Other than that, it's usually just energy. And you draw enough cards that if this gets into your hand early on, it's not that much of a nuisance. To our defense package, so we run Baba. She will search the deck, put a spike or a bandages in the drop area. Then you play a bandages from your drop area. And we run bandages, which when he is KO'd, he will play a spike from the drop area in rest mode. And you run 2 spikes just to have a target. But mainly this is the main package you're going to be playing. Just Baba into bandages, and then you have 2 blockers on field. Bandages inherently has blocker, but Bulma will give Baba blocker. And then if Spike comes into play, then he comes into play, but most of the time you're just playing it for this package alone. To make that a little bit more consistent, Android 17, Rebel Reinforcements, he plays a 1-drop from the drop area on the negate. So, and it also doesn't negate the skills. So you basically get 3 negates out of this 1 card. Because you negate with him, then you put a Baba, and then Baba plays a bandages, and then you have 2 extra blockers on field that could possibly pull out a spike as well. So this is just a fantastic negate for the deck. In my original build, I did run 4, and when I was testing with this build, it just got really cloggy. And I'm wanting to have a little bit more fun with the deck and just do some weird shit. So 4 was just too much. 1 topo. Again, I'm just trying to have fun with the deck. If I was playing a little bit more competitive, I would probably run like 2 to 3 topo. But topo just there because sometimes you need it. 2 Videl, double negate. She's an Earthling that plays herself on counterattack, so get a blocker out of it. Really good. These are Violent Rays. I played in Boca tonight, and I have my deck double sleeved, and I'm too lazy to unsleeve my Violent Rays to put them back in this deck. But these are Violent Rays. Violent Rays is good. That's why you run it. Or you can just run Meditation, because this card's actually not that bad.
That's why I say the water. Actually, no, I did.
3 Wolfing. Card's fantastic. Next up to 15k, Annoying Barrier. There's not a lot of cards that you can kill with this that are barrier that are annoying that you couldn't kill with other cards. But just having access to a little bit of barrier removal is just great. And the fact that you can play this for free if you have a Unison in play, which you will, just tenfold. I know Bancroft has a lot of love for this card.
Yeah, I play Prison.
Yeah, you play Prison. Remind us. 1 Gallic Cannon. Just neg 15k on entry. There's some cards that are really, really annoying. Like SS4 Thwarting, you hit it on entry and then Wolfang it and it's gone. So really something to think about. This card doesn't see enough play, and I think it's good.
I didn't know you had a Judge one.
Yeah, I got a playset of Judge ones.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why are you interesting me? You saying you want them?
I still like the card. I don't play in Prison anymore. I still like the card.
Merciless Barrage. This card has gotten more and more love as the sets go on. It was featured in the Vegeta starter deck, so I feel like now that everybody, I don't think it was an expensive card to begin with, but now that everybody has a copy of it, I'm seeing it a lot more. Just neg 2 cards, 15k. There is some weird timing stuff on like counter window 1 and window 2, but every card in the game now pretty much plays by a skill, so it's pretty much irrelevant. You just play it in window 2 every single time. So still a fantastic card, and in this deck it makes a blocker on build, so why not run it?
Potentially stops 3 attacks.
Exactly. Vegeta, wipe the field, give you your card +5, makes Bulma normal, so it's good, and it makes a blocker. So if your opponent is playing removal, we run Bunny Girl Bulma. Censor all of this, Bancroft, and let's not give anybody what they want. Stop laughing. I just pretend that this is a different card every time I play it. But non-Bulma card is removed by an opponent's skill. Play her for free. Play a 4-drop Earthling from the drop area. She does have blocker, which you would already gain it from Bulma. But just a really solid card because you want to play some really good 4-drop. So first option is Desert Hyena. If your leader card's red, he's just a 30k. If your opponent activates a counter, he restands. And if he KOs a battle card, he gains 10k in triple strike and switches to active mode. So he becomes a 40,000 triple striker, which is absurd. And why the fuck did they give this to Yamcha?
Because he is cool. Leave him alone.
He's really cool. Yeah, I mean that is the best looking Yamcha though. And then they gave this ugly ass jumpsuit Yamcha. I don't know why the fuck they did this. Like, I thought this card would be better, but I would just swap it out for another Desert Hyena. On swing, he plays a 2-drop from your hand, so you can play your everybody's POW or the fucking double striker, but nobody would fucking do that. He's ugly as shit. I don't know why they printed this card. You can't even get this motherfucker in foil. So it's like, you just have to look at the ugly ass non-foil jumpsuit Yamcha. What does that say anyway? Capsule. Yeah, and fucking Bulma simp. 1 Frieza, because this card's kinda okay. Crown, because I like being able to look at my opponent's hands. Nappas, best super combo for this deck. When you combo with it, combo out of an attack, then he comes into play, he makes a blocker, because he is a Red Saiyan. And just for a little bit more value off of him, I do run 2 of the SSB Vegetas. Come in, blow up a 4 or less. He is also a blocker if you really need it, but most of the time you want to keep him alive, so you can either swing into a Unison or swing in and try to deal some damage. 1 Kaioken. I would run more. I don't really see any reason to run more unless you're playing against a lot of decks with barrier that you need to get rid of, and like they play multiple cards you need to deal with. But most of the time you're just playing him for the auto to blow out a field of 20Ks, which being deflect, his card is just nutty. And he's a blocker.
Mad Cat. And the Mad Cat's
One pan just to make my opponent scared. So this deck runs a lot more 15Ks than my original build did. So used to I would just run Fearless Pan just to pitch or put in my energy just to make my opponent a little bit more wary and scared of like once I hit 3 energy, or if I have 3 energy up after playing a field. But now with stuff like Everybody's Pal, if I have a Desert Hyena on field, you know, my leader card, bumping that up to 15K double strike. It's really solid card to actually play now, but still most of the time it's just being put into the energy just to make my opponent aware that I have it. Then Goku Frieza. This Secret Rare is not all that amazing. It's very situational is what I should say. If your opponent's at 3 life, just don't even play this card because they're going to get out of 1 attack and then you can't, you know, deal 2 damage to be able to activate main to blow out that last life. The fact that they can't activate counter or blocker is really solid. But other than that, and I don't have a Champa in this list. Unless you have a Champa, there's no point in playing this if your opponent is at 3 or more life. But I do like the card.
You can't combo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
But you can activate battle using your Frieza's Death Ball if you had 6 energy.
This card's fucking garbage.
It's a great card.
This card's garbage. Actually, just play.
Why can't I pull the phone away? What the heck's going on?
What? Oh, I'm using my Force Grip. I don't know where the card is. I had a really funny joke that I was gonna play with this, and now I can't find the card. Peel off.
There we go.
I don't. This is not the card I was gonna try to
It
find.
searches for your 4-drop. All right, Jimmy, that's
Huh?
his deck profile.
Who are you?
Hope you all enjoyed today's video. I'm sure I did. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in.
Did you enjoy this video?
There's buttons down below and on the screen while you know, reading cards and misplays and whatnot.
When you pee, it's probably the clap.
Holy shit.